Thank you very much. I hope you can all hear me.
Yes, sir,
Ma'am,
we can.
clearly. That's very good.
Yes.
So, friends, today it's my privilege to be invited by Bharti Airtel Foundation to engage with our friend teachers and share with some knowledge. So, briefly, what we are going to talk about is creative ideas in classroom. So, we hope that you all will be able to do more with more creative ideas in your classroom. You already are very creative, and now more creative ideas. We will also share with you a technique for getting more ideas. Now, you may wonder what is the technique for creativity? Is there a technique for creativity? There are a number of techniques of creativity. We will be sharing one technique with you, which is a powerful technique. So, we will go about it. And so, as I said, you will get to know certain creative ideas for your classroom, which will add to whatever you are doing. We'll also share with you one technique of creativity. Now, why do I require a technique of creativity? So, there is a saying in innovation and creativity that quality of ideas depends on quantity of ideas. The more ideas we have got, there are better chances that we'll have an idea which is absolutely outstanding and which will do the work that we want. तो हम सब लोग ये जानेंगे कि हम अपने क्लास में कुछ नया कैसे करें और हम सब लोग कुछ नया करना चाहते हैं और नया करने के लिए हम क्रिएटिविटी की एक टेक्निक यूज करेंगे जिससे कि आप कुछ आगे कर सकें. कैन वी हैव द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड? So we are going to talk about a technique called analogy. What does analogy? आपने analogy के बारे में सुना होगा. Analogy is उपमा or when we compare two things. So normally क्या होता है कि आप सब लोग ये टेक्निक यूज करते हो. आप बोलते हो कि जैसे कि. So this is a phrase like this. We are going to do this. So we are always comparing. So comparison is an analogy. We do a lot of comparison, and we are always using this. Now, the difference between what we are going to do and what you do normally is that you are normally talking about things which are usual, which are common. So you will compare something which is outside and something which is within your own control. जो आप देखते हैं आप उसी से तुलना करते हैं. That is what upma is all about. Here, this is the main difference that we are going to bring to you is that when you are comparing like to like, अगर आपने बोला कि हम एक कार बनाने जा रहे हैं जो कि आज की जो बस है उसकी जैसे दिखेगी, तो आप क्या कंपैरिजन कर रहे हैं? आप कंपैरिजन कर रहे हैं एक कार से, एक बड़े बस से कर रहे हैं. हम इसको थोड़ा अलग ले जाना चाहते हैं क्योंकि हमको नए आइडियाज चाहिए. तो हम आपको एक ऐसी जगह ले जाएंगे जो अननोन है, जो डिफरेंट है, जो स्ट्रेंज है. अगर हम उसी की तुलना उसी से करेंगे तो हमको कॉमन आइडियाज में, वी आर लुकिंग फॉर अनकॉमन आइडियाज. हमको नए आइडियाज चाहिए तो हम अलग जाएंगे. एंड दैट इज वाई वी हैव कॉल्ड दिस सेशन फ्रॉम अननोन टू नोन. हम वहां जा रहे हैं जिसके बारे में हमको नहीं मालूम. So this is the whole idea about this session, from unknown to known. We'll go further as we go. Next slide, please. So let us start on an exercise. We all plan journeys. We all go somewhere. So what is the model? So we want to create a model of a journey. Now, don't get this word is all right, but we are trying to say हम जर्नी को डिस्क्राइब करते हैं. So what does a journey consist of? So आप लोग बता सकते हैं what does a journey consist of? अगर आप चैट बॉक्स में लिखेंगे तो अच्छा होगा. जर्नी में क्या क्या होता है? What is there in a journey? Can you share with me what do you think when you talk about a journey? What is essential about a journey? क्या क्या होना चाहिए? I request you to write destination planning. Right, very good. What else? Planning, destination, budget, very nice. Planning, excellent. What else? Tickets, excellent. Information, very good. Accommodation, very good. Right, friends. Weather, beautiful. Today the weather is a bit tough in NCR actually. Yes. What else? So broadly, we have now tried to the first thing in start and end point. Beautiful. So Mr. Parvinder Singh, perhaps you've written this start and end point, adaptation, destination. So most of the journeys we start with destination. What is the destination? Where do we want to go? And what is the starting point? So can I go to the next slide, please? So this is what I think you have all shared these ideas. So I've also listed them down, learning from you. So what I'm saying, so there is a starting point, there is a destination. It's an obvious. So there is a path. So how to go from my starting point to my destination? There is a route. There is a path. Then there could be number of paths. So you require a guide. You need someone to tell you how to go. So you have today when you have a Google Map tells you how to go, or you have a railway map which tells you where is the station, how do you change, which platform. So like a guide. Whenever we are going on a journey, there is sometimes there is a problem. So somebody is wrote weather or the vehicle by which you are going, there could be some problem. You leave something behind. The train by which you are going is late. Something can happen. I mean, it's the so obstacles are there. And while you are going in the journey, you would also like to know milestones that आधी जर्नी खत्म हो गई, हमने आधी जर्नी खत्म कर ली, अब 10% बाकी है या हमने 10%. So milestones and stuff. So friends, I hope we have made a very simple model. We are calling it model. You could call it a description of a journey, which is starting point, destination, path, guide, map, obstacle. अब हमने एक मॉडल बनाया तो journey is something which is different. Now we are going to transfer this. Now this is a very critical step कि हमने जो जो मॉडल बनाया है अब हम इसको ट्रांसफर करना चाहते हैं टू अनदर डोमेन. और हम ये नो हमने जो जिस चीज का मॉडल बनाया इसको हम बोलते हैं सोर्स डोमेन. हमारी सोर्स डोमेन जर्नी है, उसके जो डिस्क्रिप्टर्स हैं, एलिमेंट्स हैं, ये 6. अब हम इसको ट्रांसफर करेंगे. कैन वी हैव द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज? We have done this. Can we go to the next slide please? So now what we are doing, we are transferring this model that we made about a journey, we are transferring it to learning process. You are all involved in learning. So this is what we are trying to do. What is it that we are doing? So every point that we have got in the source domain, point by point, we are trying to transfer it to the target domain. What is it that we are transferring to target domain? So starting point. सो व्हाट इज द बेस लाइन, व्हाट इज प्रायर नॉलेज. आप सभी इसका इस्तेमाल करते हैं कि आज कहां पर है, फिर लर्निंग आउटकम इज द डेस्टिनेशन. फिर आपने बोला व्हाट इज इट दैट यू वांट टू अचीव, व्हाट इज द लर्निंग आउटकम, सो दैट बिकम्स योर डेस्टिनेशन. फिर आपका रूट क्या है. सो आपने कहा कि पाथवे क्या, आपको क्या क्या चीजें करनी है, क्या करिकुलम है, क्या सिलेबस है. सो दिस इज व्हाट योर पाथवे. फिर एक गाइड और मैप चाहिए होता है जो हमने जर्नी. तो यहाँ पर टीचर है, गाइडेंस है, देयर आर बुक्स, देयर आर टीचर्स, एंड देयर इज lot of other stuff now available which guides the students for the learning process. Then obstacles, as we said, there are obstacles. So in learning also मुश्किलें आती हैं. There are problems are कोई चीज समझ में नहीं आई, समथिंग इज डिफरेंट, व्हाट वी थॉट इट इज नॉट देयर, या हमको समझने में ही मुश्किल हो गई, या हम समझ नहीं पाए, या गलत समझे. ये हमेशा होता है. एंड सो इसके एरर हो जाता है. हाउ डू आई गेट आउट ऑफ इट? सो देन वी हैव टू फाइंड अ वे ऑफ गेटिंग आउट ऑफ द एरर्स एंड डिफिकल्टीज. लास्टली हमारे चेक पॉइंट्स होते हैं. अब यहाँ पर क्या है कि हमने असेस किया, हम पहुंच गए, हमको क्या दिक्कत हुई, हमने जर्नी पूरी करी कि नहीं करी. सो असेसमेंट है. सो इफ वी look at what we have done, we have used a technique called analogy. हमने कहीं से स्टार्ट किया जो जर्नी था, जिसका लर्निंग प्रोसेस से कोई भी लेना देना नहीं था. हमने एक जर्नी का सोर्स डोमेन बनाया, फिर हमने उसको ट्रांसफर किया टू टारगेट डोमेन जो कि लर्निंग प्रोसेस थी. सो कैन यू से majority of you, have you understood this process? So two things: source domain and target domain. We have described the source domain by elements, described it. And for each element, we have now transferred an idea to the target, जिसके बारे में हमको कुछ आइडिया चाहिए. इस केस में लर्निंग प्रोसेस थी. So can you indicate in the chat that this is on? Can we go forward, or should we again do this? We will take another example. So I'm expecting some feedback from you. Is it all right with you? Is it have you been able to understand this? Same thing, learning difficulties. Can I go forward, or should I do this again? I want this feedback.
टीचर्स, अगर आपको लगता है कि हमें और एग्जाम्पल्स लेने हैं तो आप प्लीज हमें बता सकते हैं. अच्छा, टीचर्स आर
Forward.
सेइंग वर्ड. ओ ग्रेट.
Excellent. Great. So this is the feedback assessment you are giving. Very, very nice. Ma'am, next slide, please. So now, as we said, we are going to talk about creative ideas in teaching. So I want to ask you, what is creativity? We hear this word very often, and और आज के समय में with artificial intelligence and Google, anything which is common is all right. But what is creativity? और इसकी जरूरत क्या है? Can we ask? Can you please share your ideas on what is creativity? Look forward to your ideas. All of you can please share. What is creativity? It's simple. What is your understanding of creativity? All right. I hope you all know what creativity is all about. Excellent. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Novelty. Something which is different, and make things simple, innovative ideas, anything which is different from unusual. Now, so this somebody wrote being different. Now, whole point in creativity and innovation is that we all want to make a difference. So here it is, making a difference by being different. So you do something different and hope that it will make a difference. We all want to make a difference. Think out of box. Beautiful, out of box. This is what we are talking about. So, ma'am, next slide. So this is what I thought. I hope all of you can read. Can you read what is written over here? I will not help you in this. Can you write what you have read? What are you able to see on this face? Can you write on your chat box?
Teachers, you can use the chat section to give your responses.
Right, letters. So somebody is written using letters, numbers, big fun, right? And numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if you look at this, one thing I think you all write, you can see teach. Somebody has written teach. There is something else also below that. There is a reflection. So let me first take the bottom image which says teach. And if you invert this, mirror this image, you can see it's learn. So teaching and learning are the two sides of the same thing. Unless you learn, you can't teach. And you learn by when you teach. So when you look at this numbers, you'll find that these numbers are, this N is actually 1, which is reoriented, change redirection. U is 2, M is 3, B is 4. So like this words numbers has been written by changing the orientation of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Letters are again a dance, alphabets dancing, and it is written by human beings taking different shapes, and this is letters and big fun. So creativity is big fun. So we all want our classrooms to be big fun, so we can all enjoy ourselves. We can enjoy, and our children can also enjoy. So I hope you would agree with me that creativity has to be different and it has to be fun. It should be something intriguing. It should not be very obvious. That is how it becomes great. I think the participants of our teachers are fantastic. I would like to congratulate Airtel Foundation. The teachers are very, very much on the rise. They're very energetic teachers. Thank you. Thank you. Can we have the next slide? So we were saying that we want more ideas. We want creative thinking for teachers, which can then be given to the students. How do we do this? So we have seen analogy as a bridge, which transfers ideas from source domain to target domain. Now we are looking at another thing where our source domain is Antakshari. Now, how do you describe Antakshari? Ma'am, can we go to the next slide, please? If there's a better slide on this thing. No, ma'am, we'll go back. Ma'am, no, next slide, ma'am. Next. Okay, ma'am, we'll go back. We'll go back. We'll please go back to that Antakshari slide. Yeah, right. So what we have done is, this may be a bit small, so I'll read it out for you. So how do you describe Antakshari? Like you did describe Journey, how do you describe Antakshari? So one of the things is that it is driven by domain knowledge. आपको मालूम होना चाहिए, गाने का ज्ञान होना चाहिए, knowledge होनी चाहिए. Then it is based on talent. If you don't have talent in singing, if you don't have talent in knowledge of song, you can't do anything. Then the game is fair. You know that Antakshari जो खेल रहे हैं वो fair होता है. It is transparent. You know the rules of the game very clearly. The results are known immediately. Then the whole thing is done in a spirit of fun. So idea is कि हम अंताक्षरी से क्या सीख सकते हैं टू जनरेट आइडियाज अबाउट आवर क्लास. हम क्लास में क्या, तो हमारी सोर्स डोमेन अंताक्षरी हो गई और हमारा टारगेट डोमेन इज क्रिएटिव आइडियाज फॉर क्लास. सो फ्रेंड्स, यू कैन कंट्रीब्यूट. लेट्स सी, वी गेट सम आइडियाज फ्रॉम यू अबाउट फॉर क्रिएटिव टीचिंग फ्रॉम अंताक्षरी. आप सबने अंताक्षरी खेली है. आप लोग अगर फिजिकल क्लास होता है, वी कुड हैव हैड अ अंताक्षरी. तो मैं आप लोगों से रिक्वेस्ट करता कि प्लीज टेल मी व्हाट आर द आइडियाज यू गेट फ्रॉम द मॉडल ऑफ अंताक्षरी. तो लेट मी रिपीट, द अंताक्षरी में क्या क्या होता है. इट इज ड्रिवन बाय डोमेन नॉलेज. यू मस्ट हैव नॉलेज ऑफ द सॉन्ग्स. देन इट इज बेस्ड ऑन टैलेंट. यू मस्ट हैव अ फ्लेयर फॉर सिंगिंग. द गेम इज फेयर. सबको रूल मालूम है. इट इज ट्रांसपेरेंट. People know what is happening. Then we are talking about results are known immediately. It is immediate. There is no that it will take 4 months, 5 months, immediate. And then it is in a spirit of competitive fun. तो अब आप लोग बताइए, इनमें से किसी भी चीज से आपको क्या आइडिया मिलता है. यू कैन लुक एट व्हाट आइडियाज आई हैव गिवन, बट आई एक्सपेक्ट सम आइडियाज फ्रॉम यू. प्लीज स्टार्ट. So one I think is learning with fun. Great. What else? Should I repeat this, or you'll be able to come up with ideas from Antakshari? Repeat again. Okay. So I think I need to speak in English. So I will say one. So like we made a model of the journey, we are now making a model of the song of Antakshari. From that Antakshari, we are seeing that whatever are the ideas of Antakshari, domain knowledge, talent, fairness, transparent, immediate feedback, and a spirit of fun. All this we are trying to transfer to creative ideas. And some of you have already written this, that vocabulary, quick action, and theme-based Antakshari. So I think somebody has this become very free, and it should be playway method. So your mood changes. You are happy when you learn from Antakshari. So memory, language enhancement, fairness. So all this you are now, when you play Antakshari, you feel happy. And you're saying his mood changes, readiness to speak. So these are all great. So I believe broadly, all students are involved or active in these activities. So I think you have broadly got that we take a source domain, describe it, and then you start getting ideas. Right. I think broadly, majority of you have understood the concept. Now, it is not only you who can make analogy. You can use it as a teaching tool. You can ask your students also to make a source domain. They can take up any source domain. Now, one small point I want to make to you, that please do not start with target domain. If you are doing this exercise with your students, even for yourself, do not start with the target domain. Please do. You only take a blank page. On the left hand side, make 2 columns. Left hand side, you only talk about the source domain. Do not focus on target domain. So I'm telling you why I'm saying this. For the purpose of this session, I've taken the target domains as ideas for classes because that is one of my objectives to share with you some creative ideas. Otherwise, please don't do. You do the source domain independent. Why am I saying this? So that your mind is not channelized only in one direction. Now, you would appreciate that creativity is not about focus, it is about thinking in multiple directions. कई दिशाओं में सोचना है, एक ही तरफ नहीं सोचना है. इसीलिए हम कह रहे हैं कि आप सोर्स डोमेन जब आप बना रहे हैं तो आप टारगेट डोमेन के बारे में नहीं सोचें. और जैसा मैंने जर्नी का करा और अंताक्षरी का करा, आप टारगेट डोमेन कोई भी बना सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, मैं अगर अंताक्षरी को बनाऊं और टारगेट डोमेन में जर्नी को भी बना सकता हूं, तो फिर उसमें आएगा कि आपकी जर्नी इंजॉयबल होनी चाहिए, हमको ऐसी जगह कहीं जाना चाहिए जहां हम कुछ नया सीखें. सो रिपीट कर रहा हूं कि सोर्स डोमेन इंडिपेंडेंटली लेनी है, टारगेट डोमेन के बारे में बाद में सोचना है. अगर आपको कोई डाउट हो तो इसको कि हमको सोर्स डोमेन लेना है एंड टारगेट डोमेन इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड. जब हमने सोर्स डोमेन का मॉडल बना लिया, फिर टारगेट डोमेन को लिखना, फिर उसको ट्रांसफर. यस मैम, वी कैन गो टू द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. सो फ्रेंड्स, आपके मन में बहुत सारे विचार चल रहे होंगे, वैसे भी आप लोग बड़े क्रिएटिव हैं. तो अभी आपने दो, हमने जर्नी और अंताक्षरी का मॉडल बनाया. सो प्लीज शेयर what creative ideas are you getting for teaching. You must be using, you can share those ideas also. If you got some new idea, that also you can share with me. What are the creative ideas you are getting for teaching? By storytelling. Yeah. आप कुछ बोलिए, आप कुछ कह रहे थे हाथ राम जी सर, प्लीज सॉरी टू आस्क, पूछिए ना. व्हाट इज द स्कोर? हाँ, व्हाट इज द सोर्स एंड टारगेट आइडिया? राइट राइट राइट. सो लेट मी आंसर दिस. आपने पूछा है. सो मैम, आई वुड लाइक टू गो बैक. आई थिंक आई वुड आंसर दिस क्वेश्चन. शुड आई आंसर दिस नाउ और शुड आई डू इट लेटर? एक बार मैं आंसर कर देता हूँ फिर, क्योंकि सोर्स और टारगेट इज एक, आपने किसी भी सब्जेक्ट को, किसी भी टॉपिक को आपने लिया और उसका एक मॉडल बनाया. मॉडल कोई खास चीज नहीं, आप उसका डिस्क्रिप्टर बना रहे. तो ये आपका सोर्स हो गया, ये आपका, वहां से आपको कुछ नई चीजें समझ में आएंगी. और टारगेट डोमेन है जिसके बारे में आप आइडियाज लाना चाहते हैं. सो दिस कुड बी एनीथिंग. ठीक है. So, ma'am, let's go forward. I think you are giving very good ideas. Gamification, questioning, role play and drama, wonderful. Where they can think of real life problem, vocabulary. Ask students feedback after complete session. Please send. Yes, of course, we'll give you PPT, mono action. Thank you, sir. Okay, great. Virtual field trip. Very nice ideas. Very good. I think I would say to the admin, I think this lecture we can stop now. The teachers have got great ideas, and I think I should learn from them. But ma'am, what should I do? Should I stop or should I show my ideas? Teachers got great ideas now. Yeah, mono action. Wow, great. Great.
Yeah,
Okay, ma'am.
absolutely, sir. Yeah.
I think they're getting great ideas. This is the purpose. So हमारा डेस्टिनेशन तो पूरा हो गया, बट फिर भी थोड़ा टाइम है वक्त बिताने के लिए, थोड़े एक दो आइडियाज. वो कहते हैं ना, वक्त बिताने के लिए कुछ अंताक्षरी टाइप का होना चाहिए. सो लेट्स डू मोर. सो माय टाइप ऑफ अंताक्षरी. मैम, नेक्स्ट स्लाइड.
Sure.
Singing rhymes, great. Puppetry, wow. Shubhada, I think you're talking about puppetry, great. Jagdishwar ji, great. Singing rhymes. Yes, ma'am, next slide. So, what we have done now, I think you would have all understood. You might have used this also, but this is an idea that I got from Antakshari. So, ये word chain है animals की. So, I hope before my telling, have you all understood what I'm saying? Should I explain? Can anybody say what is the method of idea of teaching this way? What is the method being used? Anybody can tell me what is the method which is being shown? No?
Teachers, you can just take a guess.
Yeah, no problem. That's
Uh,
collaborative circle activity, right? Yeah, you are very close to it. So this is based on Antakshari. Yeah. Word chain, right? Mr. Vijay Kohli, this you're right. Oh, you use this. Madam Sakina, you're using this. Great. Good to know this. So let me explain. So what this is about. So you're using it for teaching months. Great. So what this method says is that we are having names of animals or any subject, and then what we do, we take one word. We have taken peacock. Now for the peacock, the backchain system, the last word is K. So what is an animal with the name of K? So I'm very happy. A lot of people are using these techniques, but more can use. Uh, we could other topics. So my request would be, if you have used this, please share with me. Please share with the foundation so that it becomes available to all. If you have used this chaining methods, then this is so. I don't know where you got idea for chain. So can someone tell me you are using this idea of chain? Where did you get this idea from? So you've written, Madam Isha Iyer, you've written, and Shubha Pendarkar. Both of you have written that this is blockchain, backchain method, Jagdishwarji. And where did you get this idea for this picture card? Can you share with me where did you get this idea from? This is your own idea, or it is there in some book, or it is there in some. Madam Shubha, can you please describe where did you get this idea from? Great. Great. So I'm sure you got this method of teaching, but see what the technique that we used was Antakshari. So Antakshari, you were starting with the last word of the song. So this idea has come from the source domain of Antakshari. So Antakshari told us that the new song has to start with the last word. Now we are using this, we have learned this. So even if this was not taught to us, if it is not available as a standard technique of pedagogy, so I think somebody is saying it's there in the ninth standard Maharashtra English textbook. So even if it is not aware, the power is that you can create this kind of a creative method of teaching by using the source domain of Antakshari. So that, friends, is what my idea was, that if you use Antakshari, this is what you would get. Next slide. Now, we are now talking about a slightly more subject from science. We are saying, how do we tell to our students about the three states of matter? So we all know this: ice, water, steam. And how do you use some kind of a drama, some kind of a physical activity to do this? I'm sure many of you have used something like this, but this is what we are planning to do. So what is the difference between solid ice and water? So the basic component of a solid is molecules, of liquid is molecule. But in solid state, the attraction is high and they all are very close together. So any solid, the molecules are very close together, they are bound together, and they are, while they are able to move around where they are, but the place cannot change. So they say that if for a solid, the shape is also fixed and the volume is also fixed. Now, when this changes to liquid, so there is energy. So heat, we heat ice or it gets melted. So what happens is that because of the energy, the particles are now having more energy, they move more, but still there is a limit to their movement. So within a container they are able to move, but the shape is no longer fixed. It takes the shape of the container. So if they are representing, if this were a triangular room, they would be able to move in a triangular room. They will no longer be fixed, but they are forced to move in the space which is defined. When we give in more heat or more energy is coming into this, we find that now it becomes gas. Now, once the gas is there, there is no fixed shape and there is no fixed volume. So they are free to go wherever they want to go. So what happens to a gas? It depends. The shape depends on the pressure. So there is gas in a balloon. You put more pressure, it will take the shape of the balloon. If you have some other shape, it will take that shape. So both the volume and the shape change. So this is what happens in trying to teach a subject like states of matter, solid, liquid, and gas. And we are using the energy and placement of students. So this is physical. So I'm sure all of you have heard about this modalities of learning. Uh, if this is a new word, please tell me. Modalities, visual, auditory, and kinesthetics. तो आपने सुना होगा, अगर नहीं सुना है तो I can talk about it. I hope you have heard this modality VAK, visual, auditory, kinesthetics. Okay. So I think this
टीचर्स,
word
इफ
is
यू थिंक कि सर को यहाँ पे एक बार रिपीट करना है, आप वाई लिखकर या वाई लिखकर अपने व्यूज बता सकते हैं, एंड वील अंडरस्टैंड दैट.
all right. So some of you are familiar, some of you are not familiar. So I want to share this visual. So जो learner होते हैं इनकी तीन modalities होती हैं, three modalities of learner. So some learners hear and learn, some learners see and learn, and some learners do. So you must have heard this phrase called learning by doing. Now, also something very important is that young children are normally the word is kinesthetics, but you can say physical activity. So that word is a bit difficult, kinesthetics, but it means physical work. So this modality is more common and much more relevant to very, very young children. That physical activity, they like physical activity. Otherwise, you would see if you give a lecture to a group of students, they won't like. So they like activity. This particular method of teaching is drama, and you have transformed a lesson into using a group of students to demonstrate what is solid, what is liquid, and what is gas by showing the placement and mobility and energy of molecules. So if they are tightly packed, they are like solid, same shape, no change in shape. If there is more energy, now they can move around, but that confined space defines how they move. Lastly, when it is gas, it's all free. They can take any shape, and they can volume is also different. I hope many of you have used something like this. If this is okay with you, you can share with me that you have understood this concept. Two concepts in this. One, we are using a physical activity. Number two, we are using the concept of visual, auditory, and physical. That word is kinesthetic, so I think that word causes a problem. So you can call it physical. So if you say yes and understood, and if you tell me what models you have used for yourself, then I'll go forward. Otherwise, मैं अभी थोड़ा रुकता हूँ. So can you share with me anything that any one of you have done, something like this, not this, anything similar to this? Human chain model. Yes, okay, very good. Friends, I'm looking for some feedback from you, what you have done. Ma'am, I'm waiting. Should I wait now or should I wait for feedback or should I go forward? थोड़ा वेट करते हैं. मैम आप पूछ लीजिए.
मैं वापस एम्फिसाइज करना चाहूंगी सारे टीचर्स को, आप हमें बता सकते हैं इफ यू हैव यूज्ड इट, यू हैव नॉट यूज्ड इट.
Not used. All right. Good. So this is yes for shadow concepts taken ground plate in circle. Not used. All right. So then I think this is something which is new. You could use this kind of all right, Mr. Kohli said this is only for workshop, not in not in classroom. I would say sometimes use it for your kids. They would like they may enjoy this more, and this lesson may continue with them for long time. Learnings will be with them for long time. Great. So, ma'am, next slide. Now, again, I'm sharing with you a technique in which any concept that you are teaching or any story that you are teaching, you can use a few cards. I'm sure you have done this, but if you have not done, so the idea is that the cards are random. आपने उनको कार्ड दे दिए, जैसे वो ताश में रमी लगाते 1 2 3 4, तो उनको सीक्वेंस करना है. So these picture cards or even word cards are there. So the students have now got to exchange cards, put them in sequence, and then build on the sequence to what do they think is there in this. Right. What will be the right. So people can have, so right, very, very interesting. I think Mr. Jain is saying that इसमें लोगों के अलग अलग विचार हो सकते हैं, अच्छी बात है. So we are not talking about, we are talking about creative thinking. आपने तो मेरे सेशन को बिल्कुल आपने वैलिड कर दिया कि why are we wanting lot of ideas. तो हम वापस जाते हैं. अगर आपने सुना होगा, मैंने एक स्टेटमेंट करा कि quality of ideas depends on quantity of ideas. So if your students are able to come up with new ideas, with different ideas, I think you should feel very happy. जो किताब में दिया है वो तो बच्चा सीख लेगा, वो तो स्टूडेंट्स को करना है, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. But if they are having some different ideas, I think that also we should appreciate, and we should appreciate them, and it's a good thing to have different ideas from students. So, Madam Prabha Raman, if I'm right, is it Madam? So you've used it in making India's map. So I believe you would have given them different states which they have to then, as a puzzle, which they have to put together. Think, pair, share strategy also very good. I've used flashcard for traffic rules. Very good. So one of the ideas that perhaps I've not put here, but I want to share with you again, coming from Antakshari, is that like I'm constantly asking you, what have you understood, your feedback. Sometimes in a class, there is a pressure that we have to cover a syllabus and we cannot continuously seek feedback from students about the speed, whether I should slow down या मैं और तेजी से बात करूं और बताओ. क्योंकि टीचर का एक लालच होता है, कोई भी टीचर होता है उसका एक लालच ये होता है कि ज्यादा से ज्यादा मटेरियल कवर कर दे और टॉट को वो ज्यादा से ज्यादा कुछ सिखा दे. तो कई बार ऐसा होता है कि दोनों की स्पीड में अंतर हो जाता है. जो लर्नर है, ही इज नॉट एबल टू और शी इज नॉट एबल टू ग्रास्प, हम उसको और ज्यादा ज्यादा मटेरियल. सो मैं आपसे एक आग्रह करना चाहूंगा, गेट सम वेरी स्मॉल कार्ड्स मेड, और यू कैन मेक दोज कार्ड्स रेड, येलो एंड ग्रीन कार्ड, and give it to your students, which means that if the students are not finding the pace acceptable, if it is getting very fast, then they can show you a red card. You would know. You can also show me a red card if you want. You can write in red if you say, then I would know that I'm going very fast. Or green, that और तेजी से करिए. or it's a yellow, that means it's going all right, it is acceptable. So this is for feedback. This again comes from Antakshari, that speed of delivery of content, of doing things should be like this. Okay. So many of you are sharing that you have done this. I would be very happy if you share more details of the work that we do. Ma'am, do we have this provision of getting these details on the Airtel app for sharing? We have that.
Mm, So we create such platforms as and when there is a need. Right now we have like a competition going on houses and clubs and one on Print Rich Corner. Continuing with this, I think such activity we can create something. Will be connecting with you to help us take us
Definitely.
through
So we have
what
both.
exact.
सो
Yeah.
हमारे पास हमारा ग्रुप भी है, हमारा सृजन संचार का ग्रुप है, इमर्जिंग लर्निंग का, क्रिएटिव आइडियाज का, और
Mm-hmm.
एक ब्लॉग भी है. सो यू कैन राइट ऑल्सो ऑन दैट एंड शेयर ऑल्सो ऑन दैट. इट वुड बी ग्रेट, बिकॉज एक बहुत बढ़िया कहावत है. वो कहावत ये है कि मैं 30 साल से मैं क्रिएटिविटी सीख रहा हूँ, पढ़ा रहा हूँ. माई यू कैन सी माई वाइट हेयर, सो दे आर टेस्टिमनी टू दैट आई हैव स्पेंट लॉट ऑफ टाइम. एक अंग्रेजी में कहावत है, नन ऑफ अस आर एज स्मार्ट एज ऑल ऑफ अस. कि मुझे आपसे सीखने का कुछ मौका मिलेगा, आई कंसिडर माई सेल्फ वेरी ग्रेटफुल. सो
Absolutely. True.
yeah, we can send the blog. So if you go and search for Srijan Sanchar, Srijan is SRIJANSANCHAR. Srijan Sanchar means spreading innovation. And I'm sure, ma'am, you can write it, no, also if they want.
Yeah. So we can create something similar, sir, on the app itself,
Yeah,
and
we
teachers
can
can
create one.
share their creatives, and we can share those ideas with you also, so that there
Absolutely.
is,
So if you search for this, you can find, and I think if you go onto the app and ask ma'am, we can share how we will send you the blog. So if you go to Srijan Sanchar, you will find. All right.
sure,
Now, ma'am, can we have the next slide?
sure, sir.
So I hope you all can see the full slide. So now we are talking about a subject of mathematics, and we are trying to teach something called symmetry, patterns, geometry. You must all be aware that critical thinking and computational thinking has been made now a part of the NEP, and from this year, from class 3 to class 8, these subjects are there, and one of the subjects in computational thinking is pattern recognition. So this is an area. So maybe many of you have heard of something called a tangram. So a tangram is a square which is divided into 7 pieces. You might have seen. So we have also used, there is a word, if you hear it says plane dissection. So what you do, you take a figure and you cut it into different shapes. और फिर हम उसको मिला करके इस प्रकार की चीज क्रिएट करते हैं. वी आर क्रिएटिंग न्यू डिजाइंस फ्रॉम द कंपोनेंट्स ऑफ अ फिगर. सो वी हैव टेकन अ स्क्वायर, उसको कट किया, उसके ट्राइंगल्स बनाए, फिर उन ट्राइंगल से हमने बहुत सारे अलग अलग चीजें बनाई. So, how many of you have heard of this thing called tangram? Have you seen a tangram? How many of you have seen a tangram? आप बताएंगे जरा tangram किसने देखा? अगर आप लोग, if you say yes, great. So, tangram is a square which is divided into 7 pieces. This is more. These are more pieces, but something similar to this. Now, what we are doing, we are letting children play with this tangram. They can. So, you are now saying, build something out of this. So, आपने उनको एक शेप दिया कि अब आप ये बनाइए. एक आप एक कोई चीज बनाई, हमने आपको बहुत सारे पैटर्न्स दिए, बहुत सारे कंपोनेंट्स दिए. गेम इज डेफिनेटली अवेलेबल इन शॉप. सो नाउ यू मेक अ शेप, यू मेक अ स्क्वायर, यू मेक अ ट्राइंगल. और आप में से आपने देखा होगा, हम जब रंगोली बनाते हैं अपने यहाँ किसी भी फेस्टिवल में, तो रंगोली इज ऑल्सो लाइक दिस, विच इज अ पैटर्न विच रिपीट्स. हम उसको बड़ा करते हैं, सेम को बनाते जाते हैं. तो वो रंगोली बन जाती है। हमारा जो कमल का फूल है वो भी ऐसा है। हमारे यहाँ जाली बनती है, वो भी है। और नेचर में बहुत सारे इस प्रकार के पैटर्न्स हैं। तो आप जब बटरफ्लाई को आप देखेंगे तो इसका वर्ड है, इसको बोलते हैं बायलैटरल सिमेट्री। कि अगर आप बटरफ्लाई के बीच में से एक लकीर खींचेंगे वर्टिकल, तो आप देखेंगे दोनों सेम है एक तरफ से, तो ये बायलैटरल सिमेट्री है। सो दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, अ सेंस ऑफ सिमेट्री इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, एंड हाउ टू अचीव दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। यू विल फाइंड दिस इन नेचर। नेचर में ये सारी चीजें बहुत है। आप कोई फूल देखेंगे, उसका एक स्ट्रक्चर है, नंबर ऑफ कितने उसमें लीव्स हैं, वो बहुत बढ़िया है, आप इसको देख सकते हैं। तो बच्चों को जब आप सिखा रहे हैं तो आप उनसे पूछ सकते हैं कि आपने क्या देखा। एब्सोल्युटली, एब्सोल्युटली। मैडम रवनीत, you are saying that this also related to our culture. Very correct. Therefore I took example of Rangoli. एंड आपसे जब बात हो रही थी ऑडियो विजुअल एंड काइनेस्थेटिक्स की, फिजिकल की, तो ये एक विजुअल लर्निंग का एक तरीका है, और इसमें थोड़ा सा हाथ का भी मूवमेंट है। सो आई थिंक द चिल्ड्रन आर वेरी इनग्रॉस्ड। अब आप ये कितना कर पाएंगे, ओरिगैमी इज ऑल्सो वेरी, ये आप कितना कर पाएंगे, आपके पास कितना समय है, दैट इज वेयर आर क्रिएटिविटी इज। बट once in a week or twice in a week, maybe every day, आप ये कर सकते हैं। इट इज अप टू यू टू यूज सम पार्ट ऑफ दिस इन योर क्लासरूम। मैम, कैन आई हैव द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड? मैम नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज। मैम, कैन वी गो ओवर टू द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड? इसको रहने देते हैं, नेक्स्ट स्लाइड पे जाते हैं। राइट। सो अब हम लोग दोबारा, अब हम एक, वी आर कमिंग टुवर्ड द एंड ऑफ दिस सेशन। सो आई थॉट आई वुड लाइक टू revise this topic with you, what we have done. So I'll go back to my learning objectives for this session was to share with you some creative ideas for class and hear from you what are your ideas for a class. And I said that हम ये समझेंगे क्रिएटिविटी क्या होती है। आपने सबने बताया न्यू आइडियाज, डिफरेंट, अनयूजुअल। और हमने ये बात करी कि हम एक टेक्निक बताएंगे जो दिवाली की, सॉरी, जो क्रिएटिव आइडियाज की होगी। अब हमने दोबारा एक सोर्स डोमेन लिया। इस बार हमने जो सोर्स डोमेन ली है वो है दिवाली। अब हमने दिवाली का मॉडल बनाया। तो हमने दिवाली, सबको मालूम है दिवाली क्या होती है। इसमें दिया होता है, लाइटिंग करते हैं, पटाखे होते हैं, रंगोली बनाते हैं, हम एक दूसरे से गिफ्ट लेते हैं, घर को क्लीन करते हैं, साफ रखते हैं। तो आप देखेंगे हमने जो मॉडल बनाया, बहुत सिंपल मॉडल बनाया है। हमने 5 आइटम, ये वाला आप अपने क्लास में भी यूज कर सकते हैं कि आपने दिवाली, चिल्ड्रन गेट एक्साइटेड कि दिवाली में क्या क्या होता है। नाउ वी आर ट्रांसफरिंग इट टू व्हाट आर द आर्टिफैक्ट्स। हम क्लास में आर्टिफैक्ट्स आप समझते हैं कोई ऑब्जेक्ट का यूज, किसी ने पपेट्री बोला था, है ना, या ओरिगैमी है, या टैनग्राम, उनको कैसे यूज करें। तो व्हाट इज द फन, क्या फायदा होगा इसमें, हाउ टू मेक इट मोर इजियर टू अंडरस्टैंड एंगेज। हमने बोला आर्टिफैक्ट लोगों में थोड़ी क्लैरिटी लाता है। दिया से हम ये समझते हैं कि लाइट होती है, इल्यूमिनेशन, क्लैरिटी आती, कंफ्यूजन। तो आप कोई चीज दिखाएंगे जिसके बारे में बात करें, अगर आपने वैसा कोई आर्टिफैक्ट दिखाया तो क्लैरिटी होती। फिर इससे लोगों को क्यूरियोसिटी होती है, ये क्या चीज है, क्यों है, ये कैसे बनता है। आपने पंखे के बारे में पढ़ा रहे हैं, आपने कुछ बताया। देन rangoli is very beautiful. So some of these artifacts make your class very beautiful. जो आप दिखाते हैं तो people appreciate aesthetics की, एक बढ़िया। We are talking about sweet and gift, and what do we learn? That हमको शेयर करना चाहिए, नॉलेज शेयर करना चाहिए, what we are learning, collaboration. How do we collaborate to learn? Some of you have talked to me about collaboration. And lastly, हम डेकोरेशन और क्लीननेस करते हैं, हमारा एनवायरनमेंट अच्छा होना चाहिए। So friends, I have tried to cover this. This is my revision slide. I think the next is there. So now, ma'am, I will hand over to you the session. Maybe you can, somebody can summarize. Ma'am, next slide. I think it is. Thanks. So thank you. So we can go back. You can summarize, or anybody else wants to summarize. There is a question and answer session, ma'am. है ना?
Yeah, right, sir. Let me just stop sharing. Thank you so much, sir. I think it was a very, very interesting session, and the way you pulled it, I'm sure teachers would able to understand the, uh, the theory behind creativity. Why we all expect that students to be creative, but there are times when we, in our day-to-day life, as we had mentioned in the beginning, we kind of lose track of it. So I'm sure the way you had built the analogy, the way you have actually given us so many insights about how to go about it, teachers will definitely be using it in their Friday class. But in the meanwhile, I'll just ask all the teachers if there is any part that you want to share, that you want to ask. Sir is out there. And with Srijan Sanchar, we'll have more such sessions coming up in May and June. So please feel free to ask any question to sir. आप क्वेश्चन एंड आंसर का सेक्शन यूज कर सकते हैं. सो वी हैव ऑलरेडी हैव थ्री क्वेश्चंस. हाउ हाउ टू डेवलप क्रिएटिविटी among child with special needs children, sir?
So I believe this question is from Madam Zubaida. So I would say ये पिक्चर है तारे जमी पे. सो अगर आपने पिक्चर जरूर देखी है, ये पिक्चर जुबैदा जी आपने पिक्चर देखी तारे जमी पे? I draw the she in this picture. So this is a movie about a child with special needs, and how if you take the child and try to teach him in a normal method, that child will not be able to respond. Oh, madam ne dekhi hai picture. Very nice movie. So I think this is something. If we understand the child, हमको लर्नर को समझना है. अगर हमने लर्नर को समझ लिया ना कि उसकी नीड क्या है, देन वी आर एबल टू ट्रांस. आप ऐसे समझ लीजिए कि जो बच्चा है उसकी लैंग्वेज अलग है. द चाइल्ड नोज बंगाली, ओनली बंगाली, एंड इफ यू डोंट नो बंगाली, देन वट एवर यू आर टीचिंग कोई खास फायदा नहीं होगा. तो हमको बच्चे की जुबान में वी हैव टू ट्रांसपोज वट एवर आर नॉलेज इज इन द लैंग्वेज ऑफ द स्टूडेंट. मैं आपसे बताना चाहता हूँ, आपके क्लास लेने के लिए मैंने बहुत मेहनत करी. मैडम जो आपकी मॉडरेटर है, इन्होंने कम से कम मुझे 5-6 बार रिवाइज कराया. उसका कारण है, I am a professor, so I teach very senior people. I normally teach professors. So अब उन्होंने मुझको बोला नहीं, you must simplify. तो मेरे लिए थोड़ा एफर्ट लगा, and I'm saying this because I have learnt a lot in making these efforts. So it's a pleasure to do this. So about a year back, IT Madras did a toy design competition where I was the chief guest and the judge on Cognify for toys for neurodivergent children. So I think this is such an important topic for teaching for neurodivergent children. I would request the foundation to keep a separate session on this, and maybe we should have a physical session. This is a very important session. I'm told 3% of children are neurodivergent. But one thing I want to tell you, when you become of my age, everybody is neurodivergent. We all have some challenges. My memory is not what it used to be. So I need something to revive my memory. You have a visually impaired child, how can you help him? And one more thing I want to say, that all of these people with special needs, God has given them some special capability. This is also something very great. So there is Madam Isha Iyer, can you use this in pre-primary? Absolutely. So we will do some session, hopefully one day, on music enabled learning. And music is the fastest way to the children know how to tap. Today's children know everything. TikTok has taught them many things. But all this physical activity and some kind of model every child does. A child knows who his mother and father is. So that's the model we can start with. I think this question from Madam Aparna Yadav is for Madam आपके लिए. Certificate. आपके चेहरे
Yeah.
पे चमक आनी चाहिए, वो सर्टिफिकेट है. दैट्स द सर्टिफिकेट आई वुड से. आपके स्टूडेंट्स की आंखें चमक गई तो वो सर्टिफिकेट, उससे बड़ा कोई सर्टिफिकेट नहीं.
Well said, sir. I think there is no other way. But yes, certificate is something that we will be initiating for all our May sessions. And this is to inform all the teachers that we will be continuing certificates from May.
अगर मैम आई वुड से, अगर कोई ऐसा भी क्वेश्चन है बाद में भी आता है,
हाँ. We will definitely. So there are more questions actually.
Yeah, I'm having a look at this. So Madam Ravneet Kaur, give a brief on creativity method and innovative method. I could, but I think the time is short. But we could talk about, if you go to my blogs, I will write on methods of creativity. Don't worry, and we'll conduct one or two more class on creative thinking.
Right, right, right.
प्लेटफॉर्म नहीं मिलता तो विल्सन जैन यू बिल्कुल थिंक please give them a platform. I'm sure Airtel will give a lot of platform to teachers. Somebody is anonymous. How to move so that, देखिए ये वाला बड़ा बहुत ही ये कॉन्ट्रडिक्शन है that you want depth and you want width. So my suggestion is that few topics you must cover in depth. आप उनको पूरा बताइए, but some topics you must cover in depth so that they become alive about the topic. I think, madam, I have come to end of my time. अगर आप बढ़ाना चाहें तो I think exact 6 o'clock.
Yeah, yeah. No, so if there is anything more you can add, we can definitely stretch beyond 1 or 2 minutes.
Yeah.
If there is anything that you think should be added, we can definitely.
This last word I would say that the technique can be how to make strange familiar. And why we are doing, because we are not looking for common ideas, we are looking for new ideas. So therefore हम दिवाली की बात कर रहे हैं, हम अंताक्षरी की बात कर रहे हैं, हम सोलर सिस्टम किसी की भी बात कर रहे हैं, हम कॉमन आइडियाज की बात नहीं कर रहे हैं, हम बिल्कुल बाहर जा रहे हैं. इसलिए सो मेकिंग स्ट्रेंज फेमिलियर, स्ट्रेंज को यूज कर रहे हैं. दैट्स द आइडिया. दैट इज माय
Right.
एंड.